All right. So the proposition you agreed upon, correct me if I'm wrong. Deepfake porn uses the likeness of someone in an explicit manner without their approval. Deepfake porn is offensive to the subject involved. Using the likeness of a subject in an explicit manner without their consent is morally wrong. Therefore, deepfake porn is morally wrong.
Yes, without consent.
Right. Well, without their approval, without their consent, same thing.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's the proposition you agreed to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would disagree with P3. Using the likeness of a subject in an explicit manner without their consent is morally wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one proposition I would disagree with. Now, are you, a few questions, are you in favor of making deepfake porn illegal?
Um, Only if it's not like the image that you're pulling is not consented by the person who has that identity.
Okay, assuming the person doesn't consent to it, you want it to be illegal.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be better.
Okay. And how lifelike does the image have to be? Like, does it have to be completely and utterly indistinguishable? Does it have to be like 90% of people would be fooled by it? 50%?
I think it's like it's hard to say. Like I haven't really thought like a lot about how obvious it is to people, but obviously the more obvious it is to someone, the more distress and disrespectful it is. Like if people are fooled by it, then the person who has that identity is going to be more embarrassed and humiliated, and I think it's disrespectful. So obviously, like the more, I don't know, I haven't thought about how distinguishable it is,
But the
but
more
obviously technology
similar
gets
it
better
looks
with
to
it.
real life, the worse it is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so if I were to say make a deepfake porn and it's extremely convincing, if you didn't know any better, you'd think it's real. If I were to put parody, deepfake, not real under like as the video title, so now you know it's fake, it would cease to
Right.
be offensive.
Um, I mean, like parody implies something like funny, I guess.
Well, no, parodies don't have to be funny.
That's true. That's true. It's just like it's like the fake version of whatever it is, right? Parody.
Yeah,
Uh,
basically.
hmm. Uh, I mean,
Because your issue with it is that it's indistinguishable from the real thing. So if you removed that by saying it is fake, that would cease to make it offensive, or at least in large part, it would make it less offensive.
it would definitely help if you said if it was labeled deepfake. Um, I still feel like people could use that. I think that, like, obviously not me. Like, for me, I'm just like, whatever. I don't really care. But obviously, I'm a very unique person. I'm a very unique girl. But I think that other women like feel differently, and they feel like it was a violation of themselves. I understand like cartoon characters can kind of do that as well, and that has upset them. So yeah, I guess it would be less offensive. Like it would be less bad if they fully labeled it deepfake.
Okay, so would you be in favor of making it illegal if it were titled deepfake, not real?
Um, and it's like real images. So, like, I not real
Well, they're
images. It's
not.
in like not just a character. Like, I mean, they're not real images. Sorry, sorry, I meant lifelike images, not cartoon or anything. Um, it's hard. I'd have to speak to other women. I mean, I know that they still wouldn't really appreciate something like that.
Okay, so is that the basis for like the is that fundamentally the basis for which you have a problem with deepfake porn, that it's offensive to some people?
I mean, well, yes, but like there's other things as well. There's another point that I'd like to bring up, and I just want to ask, okay, what if someone got your face and like made an OnlyFans, like a different OnlyFans, and they made your face, your identity, everything like that, and they put it on OnlyFans of you doing whatever, and they started making money from that? Would you what would you have an issue with that?
As long as they said it's a deep fake or a parody or not the actual person, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Right, so they're making money off
Or
your
if it
identity.
was, say, obvious that it isn't real, because I have a very unique looking body. So I have a tattoo that's distinguishable. I'm bigger than most people. If they put my head on like a 180-pound dude, you're gonna know it's not me. But yeah, like as long as they make it clear that, or if it is clear in some way that it isn't me, so they say it's a deepfake account, or if they say it's a parody, or if it's obviously not me, so they just put it on a body that doesn't look like mine.
Okay, I will just say, like, just say Coca-Cola, when they use, like, they usually pay like a celebrity to like represent because they want to be like the face or the identity. You wouldn't be able to use someone's identity without their permission to sell something.
Yeah,
So
that's already
don't,
illegal. So there's a reason for
yeah.
that. There's
Do you think that
established
this is similar
no,
though? Like someone's
no.
making
It's
money
completely and
off
utterly
your
dissimilar.
identity.
No,
Well, they're
I'll
making
tell
money
you.
off of your face,
No,
your
no.
identity.
Here's the symmetry breaker. When it comes to an advertisement, it is assumed that the person involved in the advertisement somehow endorses the brand in some way. So, say if McDonald's were to use my face on their advertisement, that would be a sign to people that I endorse animal cruelty. I'm fine with killing animals and turning them into chicken nuggets, and that could tangibly harm my reputation or image, or it might be something that I don't personally support. If
Mm-hmm.
you're just going to make a deep fake of somebody, I don't know, jerking off or getting fucked in the ass, like what have you, that's not what's it called? You're not endorsing any kind of brand.
Mm-hmm.
You're not endorsing anything in particular. And again, with these deepfake porns, as long as it's not being used to commit some sort of illegal act, like the people making the deepfake are trying to convince people that this is
Yeah.
real, and they title it "This is a
Right.
deepfake" or a parody, like that's the symmetry breaker, where it's not
Right.
assumed you're endorsing that kind of brand or product or service or whatever that brand stands for.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if they're not trying to say that it's actually you, because that would go against like your values as well. Because like you'd say like some people don't
Well,
want it on. So
Well, yes. So if somebody were to make a deep fake of me, I don't know, sucking a big black cock, and it was
mhm,
entirely convincing,
mhm,
and they didn't like put the like minimal amount of effort to just title it deep fake, and or if
mhm,
they deliberately tried to make it look as though it was me, I mean,
mhm.
it could harm my reputation in some way or be like compromising, and that would be illegal. There's already, again, established case law. People have done this since film has existed. But again, as long as it's
Right.
not being used for illegal activity, I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, because I do know that I've gotten rid of it now, but like someone took my actual work, like it wasn't a deep fake, it was like my stuff, and put it on another site and we're charging money and I was fucking furious. So
Well,
obviously
yeah, again,
crazy.
that's like, I think most people would agree that taking copyrighted or licensed material that's owned by somebody and stealing that and profiting off of it is immoral because it's literally stealing. But
Yeah.
again, when you make a deep fake, not only like you are using somebody's likeness, but
Mhm.
it is a composited image. So
Yeah.
in that itself, it is uniquely creative. You may be able to, like, again, if you did a photo shoot, somebody took your face from that photo shoot and plastered it onto somebody else's body, you could maybe sue them for copyright or something, but it kind of depends on what the court would consider transformative enough to be considered unique artwork. In the case of
Yeah.
deepfakes, I don't think you could possibly make that argument because deepfakes are pretty highly involved. You need a pretty high degree of skill to pull them off, and especially convincingly.
Do
And
you
on
think
top of
that
that,
people
well,
should be
wait,
able
wait,
to
I'm almost
get
done.
money?
On top of
Sorry.
that, the deepfake AI, it actually creates uniquely generated images. So it might use one image as a reference image, but it will create new images, sort of like, you know, a human being would when they're painting. So you wouldn't really be able to. I don't think anyway you'd be able to get away with that argument in court if you were to make, say, a deepfake porn and you were to make a copyright claim against them on the basis of them using your face, your facial likeness.
Right. So, okay, what was I going to say? Do you think that people should be able to make money off of deepfakes?
Yeah, certainly. Again, it's a uniquely created image. It's
Mm-hmm.
somebody's artwork. Just because you don't appreciate that art doesn't mean they shouldn't be allowed to, again, profit off of their artwork, even though it's using your likeness. Again, there's like a lot of established case law. There's really famous photos that have used private individuals or public figures that are being sold. Any kind of freelance journalist who will take footage of, say, a president or a celebrity or a public figure, they can sell it to a news network, and you don't own a license to your own image. So this is also another reason why it's legal to film the police. Because you don't own a license to your own image. So if somebody were to own a license to their own image, that would mean if the police get caught committing criminal activity, it wouldn't be admissible in court because they own that image and their image is being stolen by somebody else. So there's a very good
Right.
reason why you don't own a license to your own likeness.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get you. So, like for me, I was just thinking that, obviously, well, for me, like I said in the proposition or like the original proposition, is that with so much porn already being created by heaps of consensual people, is there like that's why I said there's not really they already have porn from consented people. Do they really need porn in like someone else's image? So it goes towards, okay, you know, like it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to make it illegal to avoid like that person, that victim, to be humiliated and see themselves in that way, right? And also be harassed about it and have some people believe it or just think it's funny or things like that, quite violating when, you know, it's like, dude, you have heaps of other porn to whack off to. Do you really need to create pornographic image in like someone you know? You know what I mean?
Right. So first of all, I want to know how you establish a need basis. I mean, you could say nobody needs pornography at all. So how do you establish a need basis where you're going to use that argument against deepfake porn, but not porn in general? And secondly, if you're going to use this need basis argument, like that would also be used as an argument against anybody creating any kind of artwork that would be considered offensive or offensive to an individual or public figure. So why would somebody need to make artwork of Donald Trump performing sexual acts or romantic acts with Putin to make a political message when there's so many different ways you could have done that, or so many different subjects that you could have used to make the same message? Why would you need to paint the Prophet Muhammad when there's so many other subjects you could have painted, so many other things you could have painted when that offends Muslims so much? Again, I don't really care if people are offended or if it offends a specific group of people, so long as it's not violating their rights in some way. I don't know why there's really a problem.
yeah, it's hard to establish that. So it's hard to say, but I do still believe that, I do disagree when, like, one of your videos, yeah, you made two, right? So one of your videos, when you were saying that she's just crying for attention, that's I don't think that's why. Like, I think she was actually upset, and
Okay,
that she has a right to be upset.
well, let's break this down. So,
Mhm.
QT Cinderella was claiming that the deepfake porn is humiliating. It puts
Mhm.
herself in danger in some way. It might encourage somebody to attack her.
I don't think
Um,
that's true, though.
right. Well, that's what she said. She said it
Yeah.
could put herself in danger. Sweet Anita parroted the same idea.
Mhm.
She was also upset that people were making money off of it, and she didn't. She was talking about how it hurt her feelings so much, and the more people see it, like the more humiliating it is. Then why the fuck would she make a video about it? This is like making a video complaining about getting doxxed and swatted by the police, but then also releasing your address. So
I
if
think
this
it's
was
that
so
you can.
upsetting,
I
so
think.
whoa,
And
wait,
can
wait,
I just
wait, wait.
explain?
If wait, I'm almost done. If this was so upsetting to her and this, massively impacted her life in such a way, why would she only draw more attention to it to make it worse?
Yeah. So I think, in a way, like, I don't know, like you said, if it's labeled deepfake, but it might not have been. So she might have been getting some heat or some harassment, saying, like, kind of implying that she did do this, and calling her names and all that shit. So I think, for me, like, if I had deepfake porn made of me, I wouldn't really care as long as they knew it was deepfake. But if there was people who actually thought it was real, because obviously, like, I'm a nudist and I do nudist stuff on my channel, so they might think, yeah, of course she does porn, so they're more likely to think that she does porn, and I don't want them thinking that that's me, because it's not. And so I would say, okay, I'm going to, like, make a video just letting people know, okay, there's porn out of me, but it's not real, it's just fake. So maybe she felt the need to tell everyone all at once, okay, shut the fuck up, like, this is actually fake.
Have you
And then, of
seen
course,
any of the deepfakes made of her?
sorry?
Have you seen any of the deepfakes made of her?
No.
Right. So none of them are particularly convincing, for one thing.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Right.
so she's whining about, like, again, this porn is made with her as a subject for the explicit purpose of people who know her as a public figure to watch it. The people
Mm-hmm.
who are going to come across that and watch it, and who could actually affect her personally by watching it, would know who she is. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's not even particularly convincing, I don't know how you could make that argument. And on top of that, every single one of these videos stated it's a deep fake, not real parody, and it's literally on a website titled Deepfakes. So
All right.
that idea that this, like, people could be fooled and convinced that this is real, it's not going to happen. Show me one instance of that even happening. Like, these people are claiming it's affecting their life in such a significant degree.
Do they
How?
fake their
Show me,
bodies?
like, sorry?
Does the deep fake their bodies as well, or
No.
just because I heard that there's some technology out there, maybe it's like really advanced, or maybe this is just futuristic, that you can the computer can guess what kind of body that you have as well.
No. You have to deliberately search for somebody who has similar skin tone and body features. You actually have to search for people who have very similar facial features. If you were to put, say, Tom Cruise's face on my face, it would probably
Mm-hmm.
be stretched out. The forehead wouldn't, like, match. There'd be, like, my nose is wider, crap like that. When the AI tries to impose it on my face, it'll look weird and distorted. So you even have to look for people who are similar looking. But
Mm-hmm.
like, again, these women are claiming that it's, like, a negatively impacting them in some sort of tangible way outside of them just being offended. and they provide absolutely no evidence of that. Like, they haven't made less money. In fact, they probably made more money because this whole controversy's drawn more traffic to their channel. They're fucking beta simps, probably donating more money because they think it'll make them feel better or some shit. Like, none of this is impacting them in any negative, tangible way. And if that's the case, if their rights aren't being violated, if people are just using their creative freedom to make deepfake porn of these, subjects that people are willing to pay for, I don't see what the problem is, so long as they make a at least a reasonable effort to show to people that it is in fact a deepfake. And when deepfakes are posted to a website titled deepfakes, and in the title of each of those videos it's called deepfake, I don't see any chance of any reasonable person thinking it's real. And I'm sure there are dumbasses who are completely illiterate and don't know they're real. But I mean, think of all the different ways that you could, say, slander a public figure. You could fabricate a direct message to make it look like they're racist. Oh, they said, like, they called me the N-word in a direct message. You could take them out of context. There's some fucking cunt who uploads my live streams and is claiming that I'm a fucking pedophile because he took something I said out of context. There's nothing, like, there's no unique harm that's generated through deepfakes that could only be done through deepfakes. There's plenty of ways to fabricate shit to make it look as though somebody else did it. So on that basis, like, okay, should we ban people from using Photoshop? Should we ban people from using video editors? Should we ban people from speaking at all because somebody could pose as somebody else in, like, any kind of way?
Yeah. It is hard to kind of establish boundaries.
Well, no, it isn't. It's not at all. The boundary that I'm talking about is our boundaries relating to rights violations, things that could actually meaningfully, tangibly affect somebody's life. So stealing from somebody, like when somebody uploads your, porn of you. If somebody poses as you for the purpose of harming you, like saying like you're a pedophile or a child rapist or something like that. Those are things that tangibly, meaningfully affect you. If you're going to say deepfake porn should be banned because somebody whined and cried on the internet saying boo-hoo, it just sounds like complete nonsense to me. And you'll find massively, massively different reactions from different people. Some people will laugh at it. Some people will be a little upset. Some people will be like, fuck, I hate how they're making money off of me, but otherwise they don't really care. So, like, on the basis of a few people getting pissy at it, you think it should be banned?
About the people getting angry. It's about, like, for me, it was more about, like, the girls feeling violated because their image, their own facial image is
What do you mean by violated?
Like, just like feeling like disrespected, like your image is on something, doing something that you wouldn't do, like film.
Right, and when Donald Trump sees either deepfakes or Photoshop jobs or very realistic paintings that people have made of him performing romantic or sexual acts with Vladimir Putin, should he be able to get that banned or taken down, which is valid political criticism or, like artwork made for a specific purpose, because he feels offended by it? Should police be able to arrest you for taking video footage of them that they find personally offensive? Like, again, there are people who can feel violated. Like, just because you feel a certain way, it doesn't mean any kind of tangible harm has occurred to you. There was a fucking guy who worked in the National Guard. He was overseeing 2 women in his unit. They were friends. They'd hang out like on the weekends. One time they went to a bar. The one girl got drunk, hit on the guy, just made a move on him. For some reason, this guy apparently is like a virgin, never got laid. It like psychologically affected him so much that he wrote an essay titled "A Rape of the Mind." He ended up later murdering this woman because he couldn't handle the mental like damage that she caused. Sorry?
What did she do? Sorry, I missed that.
She just made a move on him. She like called him hot or something and tried to kiss him, and that's it.
Okay.
So he murdered her because he couldn't handle the emotional scarring from that incident. Like, you can't control how somebody's going to feel about something, just like how I can't
Mm,
control how a Muslim's going to react if I paint the Prophet Muhammad. They might try to kill
mm,
me and my entire family. They might not
yeah,
care. They might be mildly, amused or pissed off. So,
yeah,
on the base, like, you have to prove some sort of tangible harm being caused that we should care about aside from just being very, very deeply offended. Um, because, like, on that basis, you can ban anything. You could ban police footage. You can ban any kind of artwork,
mm,
being critical of Donald Trump. And I'm sure a lot of the artwork depicting him with Vladimir Putin pisses him off to no fucking end. Probably offends him more than these deepfakes that are being made of these, streamer e-girls, because the guy has such a huge inflated ego.
yeah. What do you think of? I know your position on porn, but just while we're here, because I can't think of a reason actually. What do you think about like people who are against porn in general? I just want to hear your thoughts.
I mean, there's valid criticisms against pornography. Like, anything can cause some degree of harm to certain people. As far as it being inherently bad, I disagree. Anybody can get addicted to porn,
Yeah.
develop, I don't know, some sort of relationship issues due to porn, have unrealistic expectations. But I mean, that could be from music, movies, video games as well. There are people who develop issues with all those things. So I wouldn't say porn's inherently bad. I think people just have to make a decision on whether or not it's good for them.
Believe too. Just been watching some people. They are against porn and stuff, and I'm like, hmm. So I just thought I'd get your thoughts.
So, do you still hold the opinion that deepfake porn should be illegal?
And I think for now, if it looks fake and like you said, like if it's labeled correctly, I think I think we already agree with this one point that I'm about to make is that if you're making deep fake porn to then say, hey, like to pretend that it's real and to say, hey, this person has a porno out on them, how gross, blah, 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 then that obviously is not right. You agree, right?
Yeah, so again, when this technology is being used to commit a crime, so if somebody hasn't done any porn themselves, but you're saying they
Mm-hmm.
have, and they're using that as evidence,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a criminal act. So I'd be against that.
Almost like defamation kind of thing.
Yeah, it would fall under either defamation or libel. So
Yeah.
that would be bad. But like again, even if it were 100% indistinguishable from reality, so long as people mention deepfake, parody, not real, I don't see
Yeah.
what possible problem anybody could have with it.
Well, yeah, I definitely feel like I understand. Well, I empathize with the women that feel violated by something like that. But as long as, but yeah, if they are making a solid effort to make sure that yes, this is completely fake, then I don't have as much of an issue with it.
Okay, well, does it sound reasonable? Like, put in this context, you can Google it right now. QT Cinderella deepfake porn. Every single porn that comes up, it says deepfake, fake. I mean, just because it has to be searched in the keyword. That's the only way you're going to even find it. So, when every single deepfake porn made of QT Cinderella literally says fake, parody, not real, it's on a website that says deepfakes, and the title it says fake, not real, parody. Do you think her reaction is reasonable, where she's crying as if like like a family member died, like her mother died, or a dog died? Like, don't you think that, like, when you say, "Oh, she feels violated," well, no, I don't respect that idea or her feelings in any way when literally every single video ever made of her as like a deepfake porn says fake. Um, how would she feel violated?
it's still her image on some like it's still the image of her face on a like porno. It's like she can see herself in the porn.
Yeah, who cares?
I know, but I'm just saying, like.
By the way, she also mentioned
feel that way. I'm like, well, that's how she could feel that way.
By the way, she also deliberately watched it. She admitted to it. So
yeah, but that's because you want to see if it's there or not. It's one of those anxiety things. Like,
well, no, you can literally see in a link that somebody sends you that it's a deep fake of you.
No, she got photos sent to her.
Okay, who cares?
Well, that's how she saw it, because people sent her photos.
Photos? Yeah, I don't think so. No. Maybe screenshots?
Yeah, maybe. That's what I mean. Screenshots of that's what I meant. Like, photos is in screenshots of it.
Who cares?
Hang on, how do I find it again? I can't find it. Do you say C?
QT Cinderella.
Oh, QT. Put C. I don't know why.
Yeah, just look up QT Cinderella deepfakes. Some of them are behind a paywall. Again, making it even more absurd that she'd fucking cry and complain about this, because a lot of people can't even see some of them. But you'll be able to find at least images. I found one video where it wasn't behind a paywall. Like, again, every single one of these says fake, not real, deep fake, parody. Do you think it's reasonable for her to react that way, acting like her mother just died, because somebody uploaded a video titled "Fake, Not Real Parody" with her face on somebody else's body? Like, does that not seem like an overreaction?
Right. No, people have a right to feel upset. Okay. And if that's how it makes them feel.
If I stepped on a Lego piece and I uploaded a video crying the same way she did, talking about how I stepped on a Lego piece and I feel violated and assaulted.
Pretty bad.
Like, would you laugh at that?
I would laugh at the Lego piece, yeah, because that's funny.
Well, certainly, because, like, nobody should feel that way because of stepping on a Lego piece, and it's absurd. It's a massive overreaction. So I don't know why you would bother respecting QT Cinderella's feelings when that's just an absurd way to react to such a non-existent problem.
I don't think she is being unrealistic. Like, a lot of women feel that way.
I didn't say unrealistic. You can feel whatever way you want to feel. Like, again, I gave you the example of the guy who worked for the National Guard who felt so emotionally scarred from a woman hitting on him that he, like, felt compelled to murder her to get revenge or something, or retribution. Like, people can feel whatever way they want, but, like, that doesn't mean you have to respect their feelings. I think it's fucking ridiculous that QT Cinderella would react that way from the deepfake porn of her, when all of it was clearly fake. Just like how you wouldn't respect my feelings if I stepped on a Lego piece and came online crying about it.
Sorry, but, like, stepping on a Lego piece is not, like, that's a physical pain, whereas, like, seeing yourself in that predicament is mental. Okay,
can you prove to me that stepping on a Lego piece is less harmful to an individual than...
It's not about less harmful. It's like, one's physical and you get over it.
Well, it doesn't matter. Physical harm... Well, it doesn't... Well, you can experience emotional harm that's way worse than a physical harm. So yes, they're not mutually...
That's what I'm saying. She's experiencing an emotional harm.
Okay, let's say somebody that I've only talked to, like maybe 2 or 3 times, unfriended me on Facebook that I didn't really know, and I cried about it, and I went online, just like QT Cinderella, and I bawled my eyes out because somebody that I barely knew, who I only had, like, shared 2 words with, unfriended me on Facebook. So that's an emotional harm. Can you prove to me that that emotional harm is any less or any worse than the emotional pain that QT Cinderella experienced?
Well, I mean, everybody feels differently depending on their experiences in life. Well, and so I don't think it's unreasonable for her to be upset.
Well, no, it is. Like, again, there's expectations that people have on each other, and there's a reason why we don't respect somebody for stepping on a Lego piece and crying about it, or, you know, losing one friend on Facebook that they barely talk to and crying about it. Like, we don't respect these things. We might respect things like PTSD from going to fucking war and getting shot at. We might respect something like somebody uploading revenge porn of them to try to ruin their reputation or life. We'd respect that. But when somebody only makes a fucking doctored image of you online, like, we're supposed to respect that because you whine like a little crybaby and deliberately try to make the situation even worse for yourself by crying about it? Like, do you honestly think if she couldn't profit off of this circumstance, make more money by more attention being drawn to her, getting more donations from her fucking simps, do you think she would have made that video crying about it? Probably not.
It looked pretty legit.
People can cry like very convincingly, and maybe she was upset, but again, that doesn't mean she wasn't taking advantage of the situation. Again, assuming she's not completely and utterly retarded, she would have known making that video would have drawn more attention to her deepfakes and emboldened the trolls who are trying to harass her. If they see that kind of reaction from her, they're certainly going to fucking start doing it more. So she deliberately made the situation worse for herself. Do you think? Wait. Do you think if she couldn't profit off of this in any way, get more viewership and more donations, she would have still uploaded that stupid video?
Maybe she wasn't thinking about that. I can't say what her thoughts and intentions were behind her actions. Like, you can never say for sure. You can guess, but you can never actually say for sure what.
I can guarantee you she was taking advantage of the controversy so that she could get more attention and more viewership, more donations. Like, she was even making statements in that video, trying to garner more sympathy. This is what pain looks like. This is what pain looks like. She was like literally saying shit like that. I could not take something like that fucking seriously. Photoshop jobs have existed of people for a billion years, and they've been entirely convincing. This is nothing new. We live in a technologically savvy age, and for her to react like that to a deepfake that's, for one thing, obviously fake, not only because it is not convincing, you see artifacting, it's obviously on a different person's head, her face is distorted to some extent, and on top of that, it literally says fake, parody, not real. For her to react that way, why the fuck should I respect that reaction? Like, should I respect the reaction of Muslims for wanting to, like, fucking blow up a building or kill somebody's entire family because they see a painting of the Prophet Muhammad? Well, it affected them really deeply, clearly, but should I fucking respect that reaction because a fucking painting was made? Like, So, yeah, like, fuck QT Cinderella, fuck all these other e-girls who are complaining about their deepfakes. This idea that we should respect their feelings in any way is just absolutely complete bullshit. And like, again, QT Cinderella is the only one I've seen who's reacted in that way, where they cried, like, literally cried on camera sobbing about it. Sweet Anita, Pokimane, they've whined and, you know, blabbed about it.
I know another, actually. There's another girl that only made, like, one short, like, 1 minute video about it. And she does GB ASMR.
Yeah. So, again, they're trying to get clout. They're trying to get attention off of this and make more money. There's nothing more to it. Like, again, I don't believe QT Cinderella was affected by it to the extent that she claimed she was. If she was, she wouldn't have made a fucking video about it. She would have been smart enough to know this will embolden trolls. This will draw more attention to the deepfakes. And I mean, there are people who were attached from the situation, like Sweet Anita, who said, I didn't even know deepfakes were made of me. And then went on to claim, this is ruining my life. Like, get real. And again, if you looked at the views.
Now that she knows, it's like kind of hard for her to deal with, knowing that the deepfakes are out there.
Well, I mean, if you look at the views, I mean, they were literally in the hundreds of views, like maybe 300-400 people saw these deepfakes of Sweet Anita. After she made the video about it, it's in the hundreds of thousands now for some of these videos. So and again, she went on and on about how I could get raped, I could get murdered, I could get assaulted because of these
Yeah,
videos.
I don't believe that, because if that was true, then porn stars would be worried. Then girls wouldn't do porn, because you know what I mean?
Well, what's
like
fucked up?
Girls who actually do porn aren't worried about.
Certainly, but what's fucked up? I don't know if you saw Sweet Anita's entire video, but
no, I know.
She claimed porn stars are at a massively increased risk of getting raped or murdered, and she could only provide, I think, like 1 or 2 examples of that ever happening, where some crazy wacko was stalking a porn star. It's not common for porn stars to get stalked and hunted down and like attacked by their fans. It's not common at all.
No, because I think that claiming that guys seeing girls in a sexualized image makes them want to rape those women.
It's crazy.
That actually goes against that argument would help other arguments like women should dress more modestly.
Yeah.
And exactly. So I'm definitely against that notion, because it's like, well, so what? If you don't want to get raped, you got to dress modestly, because we've been trying to prove that for so long, that I don't need to cover myself to stop being raped. To prevent rape, because that has nothing to do with it. So men seeing women in this image doesn't actually make them want to rape you, because it has nothing to do with everything to do with power or anger.
Yeah, like, I mean,
I definitely agree with that one.
Aside from literally promoting sexism by saying that, the thing that annoys... Well, it does. It promotes the idea that it's women's fault when they get raped, basically.
Oh, that's sorry, no, her point. Yes, I thought you meant the deepfakes. Yeah.
So, aside from that, but like, if you really truly believed that, you wouldn't have made a fucking video about it. So she's full of shit. All of these e-girls are full of shit. All of these people who are trying to blow this up into a big problem, it's not a big fucking problem. It just isn't.
For me, like, even being on this, like, on here right now, when I was explaining my point about how I had some guys like some dude, I assume it's a dude, take my stuff and put it on another website. I even kind of, like, you could probably look back and you could see me kind of go, oh, and think about it, because I didn't want to point your audience in that direction either. Yeah. But I know that, like, you can see it all on my Patreon, OnlyFans, and plus more. So it doesn't really matter. In fact, when I have, like, nudes on Google, like, which is free, because I told my friend, because I didn't want to tell anyone. Now I'm fine with telling anyone, but, like, I didn't want to tell anyone, because I'm like, oh, I don't want them thinking, like, knowing where to go. But my guy friend, he was like, oh, no, it actually would probably work in your favor, because it would make them want, like, more.
That actually happens with me. Whenever people leak my nudes from OnlyFans, more people actually join, so.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. Like, and so I'm like, okay, cool. So at first I was upset about it. And then, once you learn that, it was more so that it was stolen, not like recreated. But yeah, once I realized that, like, that it will help Patreon and fans, I'm like, okay, kind of calm down. But I still paid for someone to remove a bunch of images or whatever, just because, like, I want them to go to my Patreon and fans, not to whoever fucking stole them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But do you see my point of view now? Like, do you agree that they shouldn't be illegal anyway?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to upset anyone, I guess. I get what you're saying now. However, I do disagree. Like, I understand, like, that some people would be very emotionally distraught by that. So I'm not going to invalidate their feelings by saying, well, you shouldn't be feeling this way. It's like, you're going to feel however you're going to feel.
Right, but again, my point is, you shouldn't respect somebody's feelings on the basis that they're feeling that.
Well, you can respect someone's feelings without taking certain actions.
What do you
making
mean?
Something illegal or whatever.
Sorry, making something illegal?
Yeah. Like, I was giving an example.
Again, deepfake.
Like,
Well, again, I'm not in favor of using deepfake porn to commit illegal activity, but just on the
No,
basis
no,
of
no.
producing
Making deepfake.
artwork.
No, I'm saying like you can still respect that someone is upset by something without having to ban it, is what I was saying.
Okay, so you're not in favor of banning deepfake porn anymore.
I mean, now that you've explained that, like it's properly labeled and that it's not, the technology isn't even there yet.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. I'm happy with this discussion then. Thanks for coming on.
No worries.
You want to shout out your channel and shit?
Yeah, so I have my channel Slightly Crazy Vegan, which I do nature stuff and vegan cooking, talk about veganism a lot. That actually, funnily enough, that I keep getting censored. So the last 2 videos that I had actually got taken down. And when I put in an appeal for them, because they were just like regular videos, right? And the second one I was really, really safe. They came back with like within 5 minutes saying appeal denied, which makes me realize that it's not a person, it was a bot.
Yeah.
That determined that. Yeah. So I've put all my stuff on Vimeo, and I'm gonna be putting my new stuff on Vimeo instead, because I have 2 strikes on my channel. And I'm gonna promote it through Twitter. And then I have but I'm trying to concentrate more on my second channel, which is Emily Walsh, and that'll be talking about.
Make sure you don't post to your channel while those strikes are going on, by the way.
Post to what channel?
Your second channel. So if you're blocked for 2 weeks from uploading on one channel, make sure you don't post to the other channel, because that's ban evasion. Just to warn you.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. That was like a while ago. So,
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, it doesn't really matter now. It's done. It's done. But yeah, I can post on my main channel, but obviously I don't want to, because I have 2 strikes.
Sure.
So, and I did actually have another one taken down, but they didn't strike me. It was really weird. It's like YouTube is so strange, because it took down a really old one, but then it said, "Oh, but there's no penalty, but we're taking it down." I'm like, what?
I've had that happen before. It's weird.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like, okay, well, I'm not complaining about that. But yeah, so I'm uploading to my second channel, which is Emily Walsh. I make like vegan videos and I make feminist videos, talking about different like relationship stuff, like basically what you were doing with the the what's it
Red
called?
pill stuff?
All that crap. Yeah. So I make content. Yeah, so I make content about that. And I'm concentrating more on my second channel, but I'll be uploading to Vimeo instead. So
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.
no worries. Bye.